Hello, welcome back to ABI-DOS. Last episode we did like one level, so I think our progress is slowing down, but it's okay because it typically does when you're this far into the game. I think that's how Opus Magnum also works. At some point I'm just gonna be doing like one level per episode like the previous one. Yeah. Oh my gosh, 99 required set. These are all like NAs. What does that even mean? It looks like the game sort of ends here and then the green ones down here also do something. I guess we'll never know what they do until we hit 28, which we will in about 3 more levels. Alright, today we're going to be doing stack compiler. No idea what it is, so let's just see what we have to do. Pluses and minuses, and some numbers. We have a lot of pluses and minuses. Whoa. They make breakpoints. I remember what breakpoints did, but I don't think I actually remember what they did properly. They like stopped the code at a certain point. Oh, you know what? That would have been so much more useful for me, right? Like when I play my code, I always like try and pause at the right time to see things. I could use a breakpoint. It stops the thing from running at a certain point, I think. Anyway. Alright, retrieve a character from S1. If the character is a plus, push a value from S0 into the stack. Is this a stack? Yeah, I guess. If the character is minus, transmit the last pushed value to S5 and remove it from the stack. If the stack is empty, transmit a red hash symbol instead. What? So we read horizontally, right? So it's a plus. Push 8 into the stack, so the first value is 8. Then minus means transmit the last push value to S5. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. So let me see if I can pass this. Plus means I put 8 into a stack. We can consider a stack to be sort of like a placeholder area, a holding area. Put 8 into the holding area. Minus means push it out of the holding area. So we output an 8. Plus push a 3 into the holding area. Then 8. So push 8 out. Minus means push a 3 out. So 3 goes out. Another minus because there's nothing left. We output a red hash instead. Plus next means to put 2 into the holding area. Minus, so minus, the first minus pushes out 2, the second minus doesn't do anything, so a hash. We get 2 pluses now, so this is where it gets interesting. The next plus means you put 9 into the holding area, then 6 into the holding area. Alright, then the next minus pushes the 9 out first. The plus then pushes the other 6 into the holding area. Minus pushes out the next 6. Plus pushes out... plus means you add the 5 in. Minus pushes out the next 6. And then plus again means pushing in the 8. Okay, so at some point you're going to eventually push everything out of the stack. There's no adding or subtracting involved. At some point everything goes out of the stack. Eventually. Is that true? Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. It's the last pushed value. Wait, so... Oh, alright, so after this minus, this 2... This minus is this hashtag. The next plus is actually this 5. And then the next plus is this 9. Then the minus pushes out the 9 and the 5 stays. The plus pushes in the 6, the minus pushes out the 6, the plus does the 6, the minus does the 6. The plus pushes in the second 5, the minus pushes out that 5, and then the 4 pluses pushes in the next 4 characters, the 4 minus pushes out those 4 characters. Okay. And this keeps going until at some point down here where there are enough minuses in a row to push everything out. Alright, I see what this wants from me. But wow, that is challenging because how am I going to hold things in a certain position? A synchronizer? A synchronizer can stop a U-bit until at least X other synchronizers are touched by U-bits. Okay, this can hold objects in, and with a large enough set of synchronizers, you can hold all of them. Issue is that that's not gonna help, right? It just holds them, and like the condition. No, this doesn't do anything. I guess you could also have obstructors, but that wouldn't do anything either. See, the issue is that I don't know how many things are going to be held in the holding area at once, this stack, as they say. I assume we are supposed to have maybe an unlimited number of things in the stack. Like I see in some of these test cases we have a lot of numbers in a row, which imply that a lot of things could theoretically be in the stack at once. If you're lucky, it could just be a consistent push in, push out. Like, look at this. The entire thing gets very freely just flowed out at once without any hashes. So the holding area is basically non-empty at all times. Then we also have to deal with the issue of pushing out the last pushed in item. So I guess putting something on the top of the stack and then immediately removing that top object from the stack. Okay, could I visualize it like an actual stack? So maybe a vertical wire that holds all the objects, and then I'm really confused as to how I'm going to be able to cause this last pushed thing to occur, right? Because it might be fairly easy enough to get the first pushed thing to come out first, but the last pushed thing to come out first is a challenge. Right? Yeah. I was thinking of using a checker to check for the value of the last push-in item. So if the last push-in item is a 9, I add a checker for the value of 9 and transmit that 9 out, which is technically doable using the subtraction mechanic that we used last episode. But it might not work if there are multiple 9s in the stack already. Like if you take out the bottom one, then the 9 on top will stay on the top. And things will go very wrong because the order in your the order in the stack is messed up already, so it might not actually work out for us. Since these are all the non-recommended things, right? So let's not use those. Let's see what we're expected to use. Alright, challenge mode is a fairly big area now. But then again, we're given like an even bigger area. I'm pretty sure this is actually bigger than the previous level. We don't have a bottom row in the previous level. I could color it. The issue is that once I color something, how do I uncolor it? And yeah, I can definitely use color to mark the last pushed in item, right? But how many things can there be in the stack at once? If it's a really long stack, then there might be issues. And then after that last item is pushed out the stack, the next one after that needs to be colored as well. So if the stack has like a 1, 2, 3 in it, and it pushed out the 3, you need to color the 2. So I'm thinking maybe like a conveyor that, you know, cycles the stack in a loop, and then and then every single time the last object is detected, it will okay, that might be a decent idea. So I could append like a placeholder at the top of the stack. So I could put like a red hash, not red hash. Yeah. I could put anything on top of the stack really. So let's say I put a red hash on top of the stack. then all I need to do is basically, at the top of the stack is a red hash. The next one will be the object at the top of the stack that I'm supposed to take out, right? Because it's the most recently pushed in item. I can sense for this red hash at the top of the stack, and then have that sensor push out the item right after it. That will cause the top item of the stack to be pushed out. Yeah, okay. That seems good. Issue with that is the next time something goes in, I will need to put it below that placeholder item. And that placeholder item... How? I'm there to use an obstructor. An obstructor seems to be okay. And... yes, an obstructor seems to be okay. I can sort of visualize it in my head now. So let's start building the... let's build a conveyor first. So how I want to do this is a conveyor. Of course I need an actual U-bit first, so I could probably maybe use like port X or port Y. Port X is going to spawn something, right? Yeah, it spawns a neutral, a 0 U-bit, a white 0. And I'm not sure if there are any zeros in here. The first test case doesn't seem to have any. In fact, they don't seem to have any at all, actually. But, you know, oh wow, this one is shorter than the previous one. They're actually different lengths. Okay. Maybe that's to, you know, increase variance. But yeah, I'm just like scanning. I don't think I see any zeros. So, okay. If I don't see any zeros, that's good. That means a 0 will be a unique value which we can test for. I do like that. Yes, I do like that very much. So let's place down the port X and we will deal with it. So the port X will produce a 0 at the very start. Now, for the actual conveyor itself, how the thing is going to do is it's going to check for the value of 0. So there's going to be a long line of items coming in. There's going to be a sensor that checks for 0. That sensor is going to immediately link to a conveyor. Okay. I say immediately links to a conveyor. Yeah, okay. Okay, wait, no. I'm thinking of this. This works if each U-bit is a solid object that doesn't stack on anything. But 2 U-bits can stack, and that's gonna make issues. How do I solve that? Neither the synchronizer or obstructor seems to work, because it always takes a first come first serve. Right? Okay. I can think of another thing that could work, but it's going to take a lot of space. It's basically to store each item in a separate area and have each area open up the last. So it's going to be like maybe like 5, sorry, like I don't know, 5? Like maybe like a number of separate areas, and then everything is going to come out of those areas, and I will have sensors at different distances away. So the one that's latest will always activate something first, and that something will activate everything else to be pushed back into that area. That's tough. Another thing I could do, I need to somehow reverse the order of the stack, because that is what will cause it's a turn right, turn left thing, turn left, turn right thing. Okay, let me show you something. If I had, say, multiple port X's that all produce zeros, let's test this out. Let's test this out. What they're all going to do, well, they're on the stack here. I don't like that. But what they're all gonna do is they're all gonna do this. let's make another port X to sort of demonstrate what happens. So this port X will be aligned with this port X. So we could have a sensor that triggers a difference in state. So what happens now is, when this happens, it will change all of their directions. They will do this. Oh, and they don't bounce back. Oh, right, because the conveyor needs to change in state back to its original inactive state. And let's say we get rid of it afterwards. So after this happens, they get destroyed. What? Oh, I need to connect this wire as well. My bad. Look at that. That reverses their order. That was what I was looking for. It's something that reverses the order. The one issue I have with this is, like, it works once. That's it. But I can also do something really interesting with this. I can make this occur more than once in a row, right? Huh. Of course, yeah, that thing happens. This is why, like, just putting them in a row doesn't work. But I really like this idea of just flipping the entire thing. And this only works because U-bits turn right when coming back. So I basically use that idea to flip the direction they're moving in. And I don't know how many of this I need to make, because I don't know how many objects will be in the stack at once, right? In theory, I should be able to hold an infinite number of them if I made a perfect machine. Because, you know, there is a chance that I'll have a lot of items in. So this is considered an imperfect solution. It won't hold more than like 4 items at once. The 5th item is going to get stranded and it's going to mix with one of them, if there were a 5th item. Also, this holding area needs to hold items that are still in the stack. So this 5, which we've seen, you know, in our first passing of how this machine would work, will be held for like forever. But while the 9, 6, 6, and 5 all come out, the 5 will still be there. So there must be some way that the 5 can stay in this holding area. That's why I think instead of this sort of machine, it's 5 separate rooms to hold all the items in. But I really don't like the idea of there being a limited number of rooms. There has to be a solution that can hold up to an infinite number of them, right? So the idea is, I just don't know what they want from me. I can't figure out how they would pull it off. So, okay, so I'm back to the idea of marking the last digit that comes in. Instead of using a red hash, I mark it. And then I test for red and push it out. But how do I mark the red one and only the red one? How do I only mark the last one as red? It's the same issue, right? If I could do that, I might as well just push the last one out without turning it red. So yeah, I don't know. I'm completely stumped at this. Are there hints? Can I please have a hint? Because what does matches even mean? I have no idea what that means. Yeah, I don't have any ideas. Well, I've lost all my ideas. Like, isn't it like kind of weird that this single level has like a hint? It's like a hint right here, and it tells you exactly what's what. Okay, but to be fair, this hint is very useless as well. Like this would not work with a massive level that we're gonna be doing. So I guess not. But still, I want some idea of how this might help. how long have I been doing this? I've been thinking about it for 20 minutes. I don't see a single... Just reversing a sequence of digits seems so hard to me. It's also really hard to hold them, right? Right? I'm thinking of using an obstructor. Obstructors might work. I could have an obstructor that holds onto something, and if a second one comes in, releases the first obstructor, and then goes into it itself. So, okay, let's not think about how to pick the last item out. Let's just think about how we can have the items be held in a row without letting them go. My idea is an obstructor that is held by another that's holding onto something, and it's active first, okay. Then something else will deactivate it. So let's test this out first. Okay, it's held. Let's use X's to help with this. Oh. So 2 X's. So first, this one gets, let's have them further away so we can see what's going on. So the first one gets held. The second one will do this and will let go of it. This one itself will now get held. And I can repeat this. I can repeat this over and over and over, right? I think so. Okay. So let's place down more of these guys. So right now I can hold 3, let's put down 4. So held, released, held, released, held, released, held, released, held, released. And because there's nothing behind, this one will get held, this one will get held, this one will get held. That is very useful for me. It lists out everything without mixing them up. And of course there must still be something that releases them. So this is my idea of putting them in separate rooms. Yes, I've just made the rooms extremely small. In my head, the rooms were way bigger, but this is good. These are extremely small rooms which I can work with. I can make like tens of these, I think. Well, not in this space, but you can sort of like stack them over each other, and you can have like many rooms. So, you know, I don't know how many things will be held, but I could. Yeah, I don't even have. I mean, I could just duplicate this and put them all in a box, like a big box. The only issue is that there must be something between each thing. I think there needs to be a conveyor that pushes things out. You know what? Yes. Alright. Now what I'm thinking is, how do I release the last thing that comes out? And of course, the last thing that comes out can be easily released by putting another thing in. Right? Yes. So now, let's stop the simulation. Let's separate these into sort of these slightly bigger boxes, and each of these boxes now has an additional thing coming out of it, a conveyor that pushes stuff out. Okay. So, alright, this thing regularly turns right, but a conveyor that pushes it left would make sense. So, you know, everything still works as per normal, right? Because each box is unaffected by the conveyor that comes right before it. However, this S1 can form a gate that checks for a plus or a minus. If it's a plus, wait. Yeah, okay, so let's have S0 be semi-active first. It's not going to push out anything until a plus is sensed. So if it senses a plus, and we know a plus, well, we don't have to learn that it's a plus, we just need to check for red. So let's check for red. If it senses red, it pushes into this sort of other step here that releases an object from the from 0. So senses red, pushes something out. Okay. Otherwise, if senses this, so let's just destroy everything that comes off first. Otherwise, if it senses green, it keeps going, and then we can have a machine here that activates this, whatever this is. Yes. Okay. So, alright. Let's put this semi-active into the machine now. Of course, I don't want to destroy it, but the first thing that comes out will always be stuck, right? Yes. So let's just keep running it and see what comes out into the stack first. Obviously, there must be something. The green must let go of the item, right? And I still haven't figured out what to do if the green item if there's nothing in the stack. What to do if there's nothing in the stack? Well, at the very end of the stack, I could use an X to inject red hash. Okay, question. Can the thing says that X can produce something when what? When a connected sensor goes to state B. Alright, so let's test this out. Let's put a B sensor here. So it produces 0 first. Does it produce something else? It does. Ooh. So this can be a producer of hashtags, right? That seems good. I can, at the very end of the chain, always push a hashtag. So there's nothing above it, the hashtag will be pushed out. The only issue is... Well, there might not be an issue, but I think the only issue is if there's a second hash that comes in, then it's no longer a hash. But I could ask a hash to only be pushed out if a hash already goes out. So, yes, okay. So let's move this entire thing up. We're gonna want to produce... Oh, let's not move this entire thing up. Maybe let's move it up a bit. Alright, so... This is the central computer. Up there is the sort of hardware that will test for everything. We can delete all of these, and I can start building the rooms. So let's start by placing these guys sort of in the center first. So yeah, I can make a very big outside structure that kind of holds things in. Now, okay, I can have something that collects things and pushes them out. So I can repeat this process and then push things out. Of course, I will still need conveyors to put them in the right direction. I was going to turn in the wrong direction, so let's put them in the right direction. Of course, I could always just, flip the thing upside down and then the directions will actually be right. But let's... Yeah, actually that makes a lot more sense, in fact, because now every single direction is wrong. If I flipped it up 180 degrees, every single direction will be right. So let's do that. Okay. And then I guess I can get rid of all these wires at the top. So we'll start from the very beginning. I can hold a lot of things here. So just for safety, let's hold a bunch of rooms. I don't know how many I want to hold in total at the very beginning, but for more safety, let's put 1 square of space. Oh, okay, let's not put 1 square of space. Because if we did, then there wouldn't be... Yeah, this. Let's do this. I mean, we'll fix it eventually. So the outputs will be here. And then that happens, right? Seems good. And of course, if there is any problem, I can just shift this back by 1. Okay, then I can repeat. That will actually need to be a conveyor here though, to prevent it from moving forward. Let's push it up. And then one more time. So now we can hold like 6 items in. Of course, the last item will probably have to be the hashtag, but we could probably make space for that as well. Okay. This, and this. And then this to send things out. And this will be the output. So the last thing that comes out will be the output. So we'll have the output be here. So now the space we're working with is a lot smaller, but workable. No. Wait. I was thinking the hash needs to be at the very end, but no, it can't be at the very end. Because if it's at the very end, the first thing that comes out will always be stuck in the first space. Whoa. Yeah. So the hash can't be at the end, the hash must be at the start, which presents more issues. But no worries, I can always inject a hash here. Okay. Yeah, so okay, let's connect all of these guys. Now I can hold a lot of items. I can even make it more if it doesn't seem to work out. But yeah, okay. So now this does this thing. I like it. It seems to work. These small rooms. I need to inject a hash. Let's make this in semi-active first. So there will always be a hash that comes in. So X, you will be the one to produce the hash. Unfortunately, when the hash is released, it will move up. Because it will turn right. So how do I avoid that? Maybe on the other side of it. To make it turn right upon exiting. There's like so little. This? What? I mean, okay. It's so wrong though. But yuck. That's so inefficient. You can make it a hash by putting, is it 151? I think a hash is 151. Yeah. So there's a hash there now. And it is released by this 8. So there will always be a hash at the bottommost part of the stack. Obviously it's not going to be, at the front or the back, it's just going to be after the first thing that's in the stack. So this is our machine now, I guess. Actually, I could make this a lot better by having this be an active conveyor first, and then if not, I'll just push it forward. Yeah, okay. So this is a lot better for us. This gives us some space to work with here. Okay. Next, I want to be able to release everything, but not everything, because some was to be held in their Okay, so what happens if it detects an output, a minus? If it detects an output, so let's detect an output. Output detected here. What I will want is a state change from A to B of every single conveyor. And this doesn't seem to be useful at first, But we'll eventually show that it is. So every conveyor gets activated by this. I'll let that is lit up by the link B. Okay. So it starts off as nothing. And then okay, everything is held. So let's have one that releases from a 1 here. So nothing happens first. So this will open up and change everything. This will cause everything to release, but obviously because everything's held in an obstructor, nothing's gonna come out yet. Next, what I need to do is to produce the next item. So what will happen is that no, let's not do that. What? So next, what will happen is that 0 will then be produced again. So this will change everything, produce this, and now this will come out. So that releases the last item. Will it always release the last item? Yes, because the last item will always be here. Yes, because the last item will always be in the first slot. So the first slot always gets activated, and the first slot always releases the last pushed in item. This 8 will be removed. Okay. And once that happens, it will then switch off. So yeah, it will switch off. So the A will switch everything, switch all the conveyors back off. So, but the issue is that there has to be some time between this and this coming out. So now it's back to being the usual stuff, and that's not good. See? Also, what? Why? When? Anyway, yeah, so there has to be a pretty long amount of time before... It doesn't have to be very long. It's only for the first thing that comes out, right? It's only for the first slot, so it doesn't have to be very long. In fact, it can probably be like this long, maybe even shorter. So let's try this. Is this a good enough timing? So this releases. There is time, yes. And everything switches back. This keeps going. I don't like it. This 151 is still in transit. That's the problem. Well, what I could do is make sure that the machine only moves forward after, at the very, very end, when the output is about to exit. Only then will the next thing come in for checking. So let's see if that works out for us. So everything starts out right. And first 8 goes in. No, it still comes out. So this was actually the earliest possible way it can. Okay. So the 8 goes out. Nothing happens until the 8 is about to exit. Only then will the machine... Oh wait, this is still wrong, isn't it? Because yeah. Because of course, this doesn't... Like, this 128 doesn't care about the 8. It cares about what comes before it. So, Okay. So yeah, there's no point having this be here. It's also, I don't know how long it's supposed to have to take us, but this stacking machine does not work. It doesn't. It's because we are producing this. We're producing the next one. This is the problem. This one is the problem. Like, I could make it really, really, really long. I could do some really funky stuff with it. So I could make this take a really, really long path before hitting the end. Now, of course, this will definitely just take the thing forever to load. Yeah, it's supposed to come out. So see, this takes forever, which allows this to get into position first. And now, and only now, will the next thing continue. Oh my goodness, wait, if only this is getting pushed out, then there isn't a need for conveyors here at all. Oh wow, then what am I doing? Oh, Oh, that's so much more. That's so much. Oh. Oh, no. No, 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 no. I didn't think about multiple minuses in a row. Multiple minuses in a row does require the conveyors though, but this should work with multiple minuses in a row. But okay, so 8 comes in first. Why does 2 come out next? Because 2 is the next pushed in. But why would the 2 only gets pushed in on a plus? It shouldn't be pushed in on a minus. So this 0 shouldn't exist. But the 0 doesn't exist, nothing pushes it out. See, things only get pushed out when something comes from this thing here. But nothing does. So nothing gets pushed out. And then the next one will... Okay, that means that my idea is still wrong. Okay. If my idea is still wrong, then how do I solve it? Is Abstractor gonna help? Yeah. Yeah, something's gonna happen. Yes. I can see a very, very weird solution to this. But oh my goodness, wow. What? No, it won't even doesn't seem to want to work. What am I doing? What am I doing? Wow, I've been at this for like 40. Okay. Yeah, this just is not coming to me right now. I feel like I have to just start over again. But do I want to start over again? I feel like I should call it an episode. I gotta think about this. Man. Yeah. Okay, I'll think about this, I guess we'll continue this next time then. Right now you just see a very failed attempt at making something work. Well, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I'll come back to it when I can. I guess that's it for now though. Yeah, nothing happened this episode. Hope you guys are fine with that. Hope you guys also enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!